Welcome back to the channel. This is just a quick video about what you can see when you pull your turbocharger apart and what's going to tell you about your current state of engine tune or that current state of the turbo. So we have 7 cores here. These are cores that we've pulled out of the turbos that we've done hybrid conversions on. So we just thought we'd run through what we can see from these before we put these in the bin, send them off for recycling. So if we look at this core here, see the colour of it? The tune on this car has actually been really good when you look at that. It's burning really nicely. If we look at this one, it's probably burning a little bit rough, a little bit rich, not so much rough, but you can see the black little soot marks, but it's not terrible. This is a turbo that had a hybrid conversion that came on to us, came back to us because, not came back to us, it came to us because it had seized up and the client just wanted to know what he could do, so we actually had to machine some stuff out and fit a new core to it again. But you can see from this, and what's happened here is, because it's only got this small 3.5mm heat shield, the heat shield's bowed because of the heat, because when you do a hybrid upgrade and you put a bigger front wheel on as well as the rear wheel, it will make a little bit more boost. If you make a little bit more boost, it's a bit more power. If you make a little bit more power, it makes a little bit more heat. When it's made the heat, it's flared this housing and it seized this wheel, and you can see it's taken some hunks out of the wheel. So this was actually seized solid when it came to us. This one here, it's getting a little bit tired. It's the tune's not terrible, but it's actually starting to suck some oil in. You can see with this one here, it's starting to suck oil in. You can see it's a little bit wet on the face as well, and these two here, these are sucking oil in. These absolutely need a rebuild. This one here, this had something go through the engine. This is actually out of our test car that we do a low R&D on. When we bought the car, we knew that the client disclosed there was a bit of a turbo issue and he wasn't really sure what had happened, but something's gone through it and you can see it's just damaged the wheel. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to flick these around just so we can see the compressor wheel side, to see what we can see from that. There's a couple of sins that are going to get shown up here, but we can't really do a whole heap about this. This one here, you can kind of see air filter's been pretty good. There's a couple of dark spots on it, but it's not terrible. It's kind of what we expect to see. As you expect, this is much the same. So these are a 6x6 wheels, so there's 6 long fins and 6 short fins. They all look kind of okay. This is an 11 fin type wheel, and this is actually a hybrid wheel, so you can see the wheels a little bit bigger here. So these are all 15T wheels, and this is actually a 20T wheel. If you move across here, this particular one, you can start to see there's a little bit of oil and everything else on it. This was a turbo core that got sent to us for a rebuild, which is fine. It doesn't make any difference to what we're doing, but just shows you what can happen if you buy a second-hand turbo. I think it's going to be okay. This turbo's actually obviously had water sitting in it. It's all corroded up. If you put this on your car, I'm not saying the turbo wouldn't clean up and work, but all this crap that's sitting on the wheels, that's all going through your engine. So if you are going to buy a second-hand turbo, put it on your car, go to the trouble of pulling the front cover off, make sure it's all clean. Whatever's on the front cover is going through your engine. Whatever's on the rear cover, it's going straight out the exhaust, but you need to make sure that's all okay. This turbo here, even though the rear wheel was a bit oil soaked, the front wheel's okay, but either way, still needs a rebuild. This is the one, like I say, of our test car. You can see it's a little bit dull. Maybe it's had a little bit of oil get blown back through that we'd probably expect through the breather. It's a little bit soaked on the wheel, and that's just kind of how the whole thing's finished up. The other thing that we want to show you is what happens when you don't have a recirc valve. So if you come up here, this car didn't have a recirc valve on it, and see how these leading edges of the wheels, they're all pitted. And that's what happens when you get compressor surge. It starts to pit the wheel, and if this keeps going, it actually puts the wheels in imbalance, and when the wheels are in balance, then it starts to wear the bearings hard, and then the turbo will actually fail. If you have a turbo, and this is one that's quite tired if you like, you can see there's no pitting on the leading edge of the wheels. That's because it's had a recirc valve. This one here, Same thing, no real pitting. There's a couple of little marks here and there, but it's not too bad. This one here, we'll just won't worry about that one because it's had a hard life or it's had water in it. This one here, same thing, leading edges are okay, it's not terrible. These ones actually look alright. Leading edges, once again, are alright. You see here the leading edge is alright. So what happens when you don't have a Recirc valve as well is, on top of getting pitting on the leading edges, what you can find in some extreme cases are, because you build up so much pressure when you get off the throttle, it will actually bend these blades back and eventually they will break, because as you just fatigue the leading edge of the blade. That's why all the turbo manufacturers, they all recommend that you run a Recirc valve, a really well installed calibrated Recirc valve with the right spring pressure. It's not going to give you any lack of turbo response or anything else. You will get a lack of noise if that's what you're really chasing, but you have to understand, if you're really chasing that noise and this is the way you're going about it, then you need to be prepared for a turbo failure, because it will happen. It mightn't happen today, it mightn't happen tomorrow, it mightn't happen this month, it mightn't even happen this year, but it's coming because now you're putting excess load on the turbo. So when you don't have the Recirc valve, when you get off the throttle, all this gas is trying to make its way back through, and it actually overloads and bends these blades and sends it back out. The other thing that happens is the air becomes supersonic, and when it becomes supersonic, it causes this leading edge to pit. And when the leading edge pits, then this blade becomes out of balance. When this blade becomes out of balance, it creates a whole heap of excessive wear in the turbo, and the turbo will fail. Likewise, if that excessive load causes you to break the edge off a blade, the same thing is going to happen. Recirc valves are installed by all the major manufacturers, and they're installed by all the major manufacturers for a reason, because it increases the turbo reliability without decreasing the performance. They're all tuned up for it. We'd really strongly recommend that you don't do the Recirc or blow-off valve, if you want to call it that, delete, that everyone talks about. Just leave the factory one. It actually works really well. You can get upgraded ones that work a little bit nicer just because they're slightly better material that can handle a little bit more heat, but they're actually a required and worthwhile feature on your engine. The delete, it's just like you pull the pin out of a hand grenade and you don't know how long the fuse is. That's basically what it comes back to. But anyway, at the end of the day, it's your car. You do whatever you want, but please just make an informed decision. If you're chasing that extra noise and you're prepared to accept the risk of a premature turbo failure, if that's what you want, do it. It's not something we would recommend, but at the end of the day, it's your car and you can do whatever you want with it. Once again, thanks for watching. If you like what we're kind of putting out, please hit the subscribe button. We appreciate you taking the time to have a look. Once again, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye.